ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Manicheans series here on the Lord Master channel. And, well, this is a very different part of the series now, even though I did it out of sheer boredom and wanted to do something else, but I wanted it to continue the series, but I needed to give it new life. In which I did it just like with the previous series with Sicily, and that is, well, become a landless adventurer. In the 11th century in this unknown world. All the way to the ends of the known world, ends of this time, here in Mongolia, as my camp is in the settlement of Kenti. It is the home of the Bakan Khaldun, the most imposing of the Kenti mountains, said to be the birthplace of many Mongolian heroes. Its slopes are covered in ovals, and many sacrifices are made in hopes of getting its favor. Yeah, that's the side of my camp. Even though it is still in the middle of April, despite the fact you see snowy conditions, because the steppe season on this part of the world is white zud. Snow settles over the grazing lands, covering them completely in a layer that could be feet deep. Livestock cannot reach the grass and thus die of starvation. So during a zud, nomads are forced to pledge allegiance to stronger rulers to survive. But that's only relevant if you're nomadic. But since I'm a landless adventurer, this doesn't affect me much. Other than this reflects on this part of the world and harsh reality we live in now. As the camp of the Ravens of the Father of Greatness is ran by Mistress Praniyata, daughter of Lord Azur, who runs the family, whose brother is the Kagan, and my uncle, who was once disinherited but now rules this mighty realm. But the story of the Manicheans will not continue through there, as it has been for some time. So instead, the story continues through her, and through her, maybe one day, we'll move to the other Manichean holy sites farther to the west, especially to the birthplace of Manichaeism, and as well as Prophet Mani himself, in which, as a reminder regarding Prophet Mani, he was born in or near Ctesiphon, south of modern-day Baghdad, in Mesopotamia. So there's the ruins of the palace of Ctesiphon. So it was once the capital of the Sasanian dynasty. There will come a time where we will move to Mesopotamia. And just for seeing that development there, the development is comparable to Vanna, and to some degree cultural. Although nothing will compare to Constantinople, which is a development of 98. It's due to all sorts of things. So, I'm at the edge of the known world. Okay, that's northernmost compared to that one on this side here. So I plan on moving west, which I plan on traveling back into the Uyghur Khanate, visit all its landmarks, and go through Transox in it, and then head towards India. That's my intent. I will spend a good part of my adult life in India before going to Persia and into Mesopotamia is the intent. That's going to be a long-term goal if things go right. But first, get out of the steppe. This place is not for me. Culture, perhaps. Well, the problem is, well, you got not enough provisions, and if you want provisions, we'll get it from someplace else. Okay, how about we go over here? And while we're at it, scout for talent. Enables events to recruit wanderers for gold if you have open positions for offices. Why on earth would you want to do that? Since you're feeling bold. Yeah. So now we begin our travel west to new lands to get away from these criminal contracts. Because I don't wish to do, you know, the easy way out like I did in the Sicily series, where I was more of a pirate. So we're traveling west. So this episode is basically going to be our own version of the Oregon Trail, one would think. But if we get desperate, I might do these criminal contracts in order to gain more provisions. But we'll see what the western lands have to offer. Ah, roast swan, my favorite. As I'm about to dig in, my joy is abruptly interrupted by Doma. What does she want? Hello there, Sal. What you eating? Looks disgusting. Let me add some spice to it. It seems to walk closer. Tui. A vile lava spit straight in my mouth. There you go, much tastier. She laughs and grins. My bully. I'll take it on the chin and wear it. I prefer to be calm. It gives me diplomacy and intrigue, stress loss, and scheme discovery chance. Grin and bear it. It's like, yes, I'm brave, but I'm also calm. Their culture, tell me, is unfamiliar to me. Some of their customs equally alien. This is proven especially true when the son acting as our cook for the evening beckons me over to look at the It's a local recipe. You think it's supposedly authentically druid. This is how it shows stood by a passing merchant. I look at this episode with suspicion. Is that stewed otter with parsnips? Well, since I'm a well-child person of my age, blended with herbs from the Uigala Vamna cuisine, gain 400 provisions, and for the next 15 years gain expanded culinary horizons. So this character has recently improved their outlook on unfamiliar foods, leading to a much wider palate. Provisions gain, and provisions capacity goes up, and every follower has new tastes for 10 years. That'll keep us going a bit. Dynasty Legacy unlocked. Faithful Magistrates. Costs less to create titles, and control growth increases monthly. So I guess they are still going for that. Which means in the far future we'll have this. So yeah, it was a good pick to have this. Hunts and feasts are cheaper these days. And whenever I settle down somewhere, and whenever I create titles for myself, well, it costs less to do so, and makes things easier to get things under control. Isn't it lovely? Alright, winter's about to arrive, even though it's still lights out, but the thing is, see what this land has to offer as we visit the battle site of Tabuket. Murder foe, mug citizen, wealthy citizenry, artifact delivery, transport contract. Honest travelers of means. A valuable heirloom is about to change hands. The chiefess needs someone to assure the island reaches its destination safely. Okay, the reward is money, but no provisions. Take the contract. A delegation of the chiefess island of Naimans saunters to the flaps of my great tent. Greetings, traveler, speaks an envoy. Many of the roads of this world are treacherous, and your work for Naimans. My liege would pay well for your expertise. Her precious pewter spoon. Shall we trust a spoon? Really? Bring it to the settlement of Karos, where Chieftain Tabuka sits. For the pewter spoon is promised as a princely gift. Men be warned. Were this hollow treasure not find its way, the consequences would be dire. I'm sorry, I'm kind of laughing a bit and my eyes are watering because this is absurd. It may look like a commoner's tableware, but as far as the owner is concerned, it is a good spoon used to eat good food, and trusted more than the utensils given him by others. Plus, it has elegant charm and its simplicity once you examine it more. So you want me to deliver this spoon? I shall mind this artifact well, so we'll travel to there and give it to him. Well, start traveling then. Actually, we're right here. It's just this. The job came from the chief. Here, deliver this spoon. It's somewhere halfway. Well, we're already here. I'm brought before. I'll take the Tabuka himself. They become my quite district this man's for hest. No? On what business? I bring forth the pewter spoon to the hall of the court. A fine gift, crows the chieftain. You've done well, veteran. You may remain and enjoy the pleasures of Tabuket's nights. I shall head back to my camp. Thank you very much. And food, please. Make a request. I need provisions. It'll cost you some prestige when you do so. The other role of patrons I just remembered. Oh yeah. Distant, but you gotta get back to him if you want some more. Plus, you're almost close to reaching back to this realm again, which might make things easier. And here's a problem when you're a child. You can't visit a holding. So you're a child, so we can't buy provisions this way, so you gotta work at it the hard way. At least reach to the border. We can make it to there. Come on, move out. We're almost back to the old Imperial border. Nestled under the Bed under my fox skin, I drift into sleep in a warm haze. Before me lies a person, veiled in fog, gesturing an invitation. As I join him, I touch him, the fog begins to clear, and in its place a warm blush sweeps over our skin. I lean down to kiss him. As I pull back, I'm greeted by a warm smile from a beautiful girl, or was it a boy? I cannot remember clearly. Whenever that option comes up, I tended to pick bisexual because, you know, to me it's like the way of saying, you get the best of both worlds. Seduce whoever you want, especially if you are a powerful ruler who can get away with anything. And as well as depends on what religion you're part of. But in this case of Manicheanism, same-sex relations is shunned, but everything else is shunned. The only thing that's criminal is witchcraft and kinslaying. Everything else is fine. So, go with that. Our culture discovered a bird's innovation. Barely. Uncover secret. While the eyes and ears are needed in the dark time knowledge for work to discover first secrets, takers must be discreet. Oh, it's you again. But I get paid less. Oh, we get to do that again soon. But you gotta do it someplace else. Oh, find myself making such noises when sitting down at a campfire in the evening now. The elders always talk about how that happens when you get older. But I'm only 11. No. Since the wear and tear of the life lived rough, I could see the toll it takes on the others. So, Vidoram, which is a bit some sun next to me. Upgrade your pavilion builder for a discount, so add another pavilion, level 2. Because we haven't done much looking at the pavilion. This is the heart of the camp, the clustered, packly tight tents around the leader's residence. So, obviously off the start, you get a medium health boost, number of domicile building slots 2, unlocks the second offset. So might as well spend all the gold that we have, because I was saving it for an upgrade. Or add another building, but let's do it with this instead. So we'll add pavilion level 2. So you already have a second officer. In addition, you'll have a bit of provisions capacity, safer travel slightly, another building slot, provisions up, hostile scheme phase in length is lower, and a maximum number of men-at-arms regiments. So my pourback demands more luxurious furnishings. So, there you go. So level 2 now. This unlocks the new slot of the buildings. The chiefess suspicious eyes upon her mother, Kogochin, so I find myself stalking through her halls of a temple. She's clearly deep with a counsel of herself. I chance some more steps closer, hiding behind a jutting wall. I can almost hear their whispered words, whether a confession of Tengu or just wild muttering. Can't quite make it out. I had enough of hiding. Open threats may succeed where eavesdropping failed. 95% chance of my threats work, and we'll learn that she's a deviant. 4% chance of failure. I say that because I'm brave. Excellent. Excellent, she booms, as I bring her the news. I had my suspicions, of course, but to have them confirmed. She gestures the guards to bring forward my face, stroking her chin. Your reward. Should I need help in the future? Do not hesitate to answer my call. Farewell, Mistress Praniyata. Small payment, but more importantly, more provisions. Although I already called you that before, but we could do that again in 2 months. Oh look, another artifact delivery. The valuable heirlooms will change hands. The Proc needs someone to assure the army's destination. Alright. So, now we're going to deliver a simple water skin. Made out of sheep or goat skin, this animal holds water if it's used on long journeys, particularly in harsh terrain. Its owner knows the importance of staying hydrated. So mind this artifact well. This one's going to be a much longer travel. All the heck way over there. Well, I'm going to be traveling for a year. Which means more time to explore. And visit some landmarks. Such as the site of the Battle of Sube, where long ago our great ancestor, King Bokut, led his troops bravely in defense of the Uyghur army in Koza. The key moment of the battle was when the Uyghur archers led by Togru managed to navigate around the enemy, shouted them around their opponents, and captured Koza. And then the Mogao caves in Danghua, or near Danghua. So we got some traveling to do, and it don't cost you much of anything. And don't forget, I'll be rewarded with money, not provisions. Perhaps we'll have to start building buildings. These camp buildings. I'll have to ask her for some more provisions again. It's for my travels. As I travel along the road, I notice a frail-looking peasant standing on the side of the path. As I inspect him more closely, he appears to be holding a small bundle. Please, hold a moment. Times have been rough since my spouse passed, and I'm at my wit's end. Would you be interested in buying my child? It would pains make day play. I cannot afford to keep him, and I must sell him to see what is left of my family. His name is Huai Sin. Club with it. Me, 12, raising a 1-year-old? What the? Maybe become a ward. Huh. Well, having a doubt, so when I'm on this status, when in case if I get really desperate. But the problem is, you know, club-footed, inheritable trait. I wouldn't do that unless we're really desperate. After all, no player heir for the camp, at least. Cost 250 prestige. And considered a mother. This is kind of strange to be saying that. Because I'm 12, he's 1. And tells me to sell the child. Oh yeah, you're club-footed too, so. I mean, he'll get the modifiers when he joins this house. Of this dynasty. And since you are playing as a female character, you may never know. Whenever you get married and then you become pregnant, there's that off chance where your child could be stillborn, and then your character dies in childbirth. There's that off chance. So, this is going to be the strangest thing. Not the simplest thing, but the strangest thing. I will adopt him as one of my own, even though he's club-footed, yes. But at least I could designate an heir and all that. So yes, I'll adopt him, and I'll, it doesn't say guardian, so it's a guest adopted as a son, but I am not old enough for the responsibility to raise it personally. So I'll do that once she turns 16 for this character. While crossing the river in Chiang Mai, some of our supplies came loose and fell into the river. We watched helplessly as the water swept these supplies away. While a lot of our supplies are still with us, thankfully we still lost quite a bit. My commander has different suggestions on what to do. Some say we should go downstream to see if we can recover some of the supplies, especially if they were washed ashore. Others say we should cut our losses and purchase replacement supplies at the next town. Yet, others say we should bear our misfortune and continue along. I'll try to recover some of the supplies downstream. Astronomers around the world have reported the most fascinating, unprecedented anomaly. An appearance of a new star in the sky. Stars appearing out of nowhere is abnormal, but hardly unheard of. What is extraordinary about this new star is that it's extremely bright, even more than Venus, which is normally the brightest celestial body after the sun and the moon. In fact, ordinary people have reported seeing it during the day too. Many are debating whether this unusual star is just a minor, if odd, phenomenon, or an event of great importance. Regardless, astronomers who are observing it says it does have some strange properties and behaviors. For example, it dims or brightens or flickers almost at random, or even disappears for weeks at a time. One can only wonder what the new star represents, or why is it the way it is, how long will it stay in the sky. Well, I spent that prestige to get jobs up. Don't worry, I'll get my reward soon. So sponsor astronomers, local astronomers as we travel by, to record some observations of it. So I'll gain the Uyghur Vamna account of the 1006 supernova. For historical context, SN 1006, as it's called nowadays, was a supernova about 7,200 light years away, which appeared in a 1006 and is the brightest observed stellar event in recorded history that we know of. SN 1006 is tested in records from all across the world, from official Chinese histories to a text by Iranian scholar Ibn Sina to the annals of the Abbey of Saint Gall in Switzerland, and more. Based on these sources, scholars have calculated the supernova was first sighted in April of 1006 and may have been visible for a few more years after that. There were two subsequent supernova events during the medieval period in 1054 and 1181. These are not as bright as SN 1006. Both were attested in Chinese and Japanese records and by a Nestorian Arab source in the case of 1054, but other records of these sightings of these two places around the world are debatable. So we're spending quite a bit of gold for this, so now we have negative money. Mistress Praniyata, my leader, I've met the most enchanting woman here in Changwon. My father has sensed on his address. Her family will not let us marry without me paying a sizable dowry. She said, please help me. Not that impressed, so I'll say, but she seems willing to run away from you. 36% chance that she'll join me, and we'll marry matrimonially to her. Or she will not be pleased and not impressed. Oh, she does join. Okay. Oh, and requires a portable shrine upgrade if from the package train to convert followers. I see. Because I would prefer every camp follower to be Manichean. Now you're traveling through lands of the Toilan. Oh yeah, here's the artifact. It's the Masterwork Journal, which will have it equipped. +1 learning, prestige, loves. So this text records the observations that the various Urgalavan astronomers made concerning the 2006 supernova. The brightest observed stellar event in recorded history. A large new star was seen in the sky for up to a few weeks and possibly as long as a couple of years. Due to extraordinary event of this nature, Mistress Praniyata encouraged local scholars to write down some notes about it for posterity. Alright, here you go. Thanks for the payment. And give me some more provisions. Through that Sube's residence in Sube is excellent. Of course, a far cry from the usual rough and ready fare that I'm so used to. I'm very glad you could answer my summons, he says, just in my direction. I'd like to see if there was anything we could do to help one another. After all, there are certain times that a man of my stature can't quite get as down in the muck as certain jobs require. Someone with his food would do me plenty. We'll work for food. Instructor of Knights. Negotiate alliance with the family lord. Remember, his estate is located over there, which is outside of imperial borders, but the house is subject to that. I don't know if that's a good idea. You know, me being a 13-year-old child who instructs knights. You know, I'm already, well, not quite well traveled yet, but I'm getting there. Though my stewardship isn't great. The Bars still lives in culture. Wish I could invite you to my camp. You know, escape from all this. Veterans for hire. My liege, Wall wishes to keep his Kushi in fighting shape. An experienced commander or swordsman sought to pass down their knowledge. Job pays well, and so is the food. Counselor left court. Eh? We can't go there because, what is your marshal doing? This is the marshal. Are you in a state of war or anything like that? No? Well, in this case, let's move to the capital, to Culture. We'll gather provisions from there because there's a better chance of doing that in an oasis. That's what I remembered. And plus, this will be a real start to the travel down the Silk Road. They all want to negotiate an alliance with me. But I'm not interested. I set out on my own path. You're very effective here in... So, do we get any? Yes. One day, we ain't gonna starve again. Still no. Counselor left the court. You are a vassal, yes. But the problem is that your marshal, whatever he's doing, is doing nothing. So let's head to Kochi if we can. Oh, wow, you're at it past the Bezic Caves. Bezic Gills. So pick up that, and then we'll make a stop here in Kochi. And soon we'll, you know, swing around back down to Khotan. Land of plenty down there. Wandering perk available, but I can't select it because I'm not an adult yet. Yesterday our trials and short trip were rather grueling, and I was so exhausted I overslept. The rest of my entourage didn't want to wake me up, saying they'd worried I would not be in the right state of mind if they didn't give me enough time to rest. Be careful not to oversleep again. We still haven't had a proper physician, or a good one at that. At least nobody's gotten ill yet. But I wait for the day. Criminal contract. Still can't accept this. It is not your patron. Can I make a request for another contract? It's already issued me. That's no valid. Yeah, I know. Hey, uncle. Guess we keep going further then. We might experience starvation, so we gotta stop. If you want me to kill somebody, does it give me food? You want your ragdoll? Dude, then go get it. None of us shouts, throwing little girl's ragdoll to the dark, gloomy cave. Little girl starts crying uncontrollably. That'll keep spiders and snakes company. It's lost forever, it seems like. How can we so many of poor? Well, the cave is full of creepy crawlers. Must do something. Guards, make it back. So, I mean, I had this event before. That's how I picked up brave, but now it's happened again. So now I got stubborn. Plus 3 stewardship, disease resistance. Well, small health boost. Okay. So I'm brave, calm, but stubborn. So this character is neither virtuous nor sinful, based on those traits. Middle ground. But I think it's about time you switch to your camp purpose. Knowing I'm going to be of military education. Find more prowess and martial contracts. I mean, damn, look at my prowess and my martial. I think you should just become swordsman early on. Plus, lots of more room for bagateurs. Even though we do not have the sufficient forces to make that happen, but screw it. Just be a captain instead of mistress. That you'll refer to me as such. head to Croran. No, now I'm not looking to get mercenary contracts. Yet. But I just want more prowess and more martial, something that does appeal to the character's strengths. In Nasi Urkule, you hear rumors of a small duelist shrine that has healing properties. It's not a major site of pilgrimage, but aren't that many outside the region who know of it. However, this shrine does attract a constant stream of local visitors. Many here that worship in the Father greatness of this shrine help the ill recover from a great number of ailments. My childish companions and I debate on whether it might be worth it to stop by the shrine, spend some time there, and pray to make offerings to the Father of greatness. I don't have time for an excursion like this. Tutor child. Ooh, lots of provisions. If I do very, very well, they're going to give me a lot more. Knowledgeable scholars desired. The persons of the letters acquired by the Prak of Dang Huang to assist in the tutelage of children residing in this court. This performance will be recognized. Yeah, I'll be there. Go ahead to Miran. I'm 14, and this person's 13. Dahlia gives me a curious but expectant look as we made up our first session. Servants trot back and forth to the throne as I survey the surroundings and quickly scout a smatter of vantage points I should teach Dahlia about. No sooner than the initial pleasantry gone, whenever the child for a reason leans back and starts ignoring me. Closing her eyes, pretend to fall asleep in the middle of my lecture. This is absurd. I'm a year older than you, and you think I know better than you? Well, clearly I do. But as for you, well... So, you gotta have 3 out of 3, and you gotta get up to 2 towards success. So I say, alright, just for a little longer, then let us commence. Martial challenge. 78% chance I'll attempt their curious about field postings. Score 1 to successfully completing the contract. 3% chance of my martial increases by 1. The possible outcomes. Knowledge is fleeting, or the knowledge solidifies. 22% chance feels speaker interest and makes it unsuccessful. Successful tutoring. Score 1. Increased her martial skill by 1. Oh look, there's more. Settle boundary dispute, the easiest thing. I got courts is another. As we reconvene, Dahlia tilts her head while we summarize the talk of our last session. The tavern collects a plethora of regulars and visitors. As we stroll along the path, I keep a watchful eye on the surroundings. The scout Dahlia should be privy to. Further ahead, a striking peasant boy seemingly bewitched my protege. She sneaks around, intently observing the boy carrying provisions, and decidedly ignores my presence. Little imp, did you know that? 71% chance that I entice her to using my wits. 29% chance of failure. Success. She gained fleeting intrigue. So has been subject to an intense education in the arts and crafts of deception for her. It gives me an inscrutable look as we meet up for our next session. Tranquil gardens accommodate the ample teaching opportunities. Localize a subspecies of birds that would be beneficial for VIET to be made aware of. Some of the other children are running around in a makeshift game, drawing the attention of the girl. She runs up to them, joining the match before I can stop her. Just go for the guaranteed success. Oi! You listen here! So I gained stress, but it will add to the score, and plus this is the last one, and it will give me towards exceptional success. Listen here, goddammit. Praniyata attempts to suppress his giddiness. Well, your unconventional methods are seemingly very successful. He's already showing signs of more discerning thoughts and ideas. Angles of attack, social codices, economics. Marvelous work. Thank you. And do let me know that next time you are in the area. The Prak exclaims and gestures excited. A brief song passed my lips on it. It was all heard. 110 gold, 225 prestige, and more importantly, 1100 provisions. You negotiate the settlement. Put it into your hostile acts, and I'll make you the Lord of Arcote, the rules of my vassal. So, the uncle wants me to settle down. And wants to give me a house. And a subsequent, like give me an estate, and then the land of Kingo, which is a not so developed area. Adopt clan. But the people have a horrible opinion of me. So I'll say no. I've made my own destiny. If reject inheritance, this is what I would do. May not inherit titles and cannot inherit titles. I'm not interested in land. Plus, even if I do hold an estate in land, I would be too young to do anything about it. I didn't earn it. Right? Ambush travelers, that's criminal. Alright, first building. Yeah, let's have a baggage train. Organizing the camp's motley collection of followers, wagons, paganels is inevitable for any large operation. So I find more officers using Scout for talent, unlocks the head porter officer, and receives more transport contracts, because, you know, if we need to make more coin. Earn more coin. Increases provisions capacity, supply capacity, faster travel speed, max size of skirmisher regiments if you have any. So that's for starters. Now let's settle that boundary dispute. Wanderers are good breeding. Experienced arbiters sought by the Kadada of Nanu to settle a boundary dispute. Education in Oigo Hokonichi law would be helpful. Even a satisfactory aid shall be paid. So this is just for... Yes, the payment will be small, but I want to earn more food. More provisions. So yeah, just travel around Lake Lopnor. Underlying problem in Nanu is quite apparent even from outside the rotting gates. Its walls are in terrible state. And the main problem seems to be not recognizing this, but figuring out what is actually going to pay to restore them. An expensive proposition that everyone agrees is necessary, and also someone else's problem. Paradise Soriak, as it paints to let us know that our coin depends on calming the situation quickly and quietly. So this is automatic success instead of doing this. Because I have high prowess and I say, you just need some strong backs. I get paid with a small amount of gold, with some prestige, but provisions more importantly, and increases my prowess by 1. Shamed and roused to action by my example, and with the aid of the few followers from the camp of the Ravens of the Father of Greatness, the good people and I go to work to repair the defenses. Thankfully, the walls look substantially worse than they actually are. Substantial good progress is made, at the cost of only a few days of labor is easily compensated by a small due. Suryak is happy enough of our solution and gladly handing over his coin. Another happy patron. Okay. The interesting speakers wanted. Speak of the Leeches and worldly affairs and no reward. All with tales to tell are cordially invited to enjoy the hospitality of the Keresa Ashul. Well, this is not for money, but for prestige and provisions. But if you're exceptional at it, you might get paid a little. But we'll do that in a couple days. Just wait until the baggage train is finished. Because I gotta build another building. Baggage train's finished. Like to have a roaring campfire. Making an effort to get people around the campfires and even builds community, loyalty, and hangovers. Again, find more officers to use Scout Town. Unlocks fireside chat tent for the camp revelry activity. Which I have not done that yet. Because I'm not an adult yet. But it does add a bit of night effectiveness and max number of men-at-arms regiments, unless further upgraded. So this is a diplomacy scheme, which I got decent diplomacy. Let's go. character turned 15. Next spring, she'll be 16. Egalitarian, that's Cordata's called. It's not uncommon for settled rulers like Cordata to play host to notable adventurers like myself. For a few gifts and decent lodgings, mercenaries such as ours provide entertainment, intelligence, and silver extraction for as many courtiers. Of course, that's if my followers and I can earn our keep of our tales. Let's just get on with our task. The same would be excellent as poet, but the other's not so good. Okay, now I know who to pick. But damn, some are just as good. So choose wisely. Shill. A friendly voice from a perfect stranger could go a long way in the ground, and really, who's to say who knows who? Which is again due to his intrigue, his diplomacy, and him being gregarious. A poet. Any petty lord with an education can master words, but it takes true unmitigated talent to master verse. So, mime, or meme, or how do you say the name? This is all skills combined. Plus, she's content and compassionate, so it will work for her. Musician. Is there really life to go after music? I don't think so, but then I'm never lacking for music. Garipong, the stout. That's due to his diplomacy, his learning, and being content also helps. So this is almost a guaranteed success. A toast, my lords and ladies, to a good friend of mine I'd like all to think highly as I do. It takes a long time to get to the next phase, so... I know you're lazy, but shut it! You're gonna make it happen. And better run Longshanks. There's an art to speaking for an hour without saying a thing, gambler. Every little bit helps. My aunt was captured. Joins this on it. I've been wondering, my dear Praniyata, girls, Karatata, one idle dinner. You spin these tales of your life and deeds, yet you live near a muddy tent flap, barely sheltered from torrential rain and scorching sun alike. I nod, no use denying it. With so many of the basic comforts of life denied to you, what's the thing that motivates you to get up in the morning? Why keep marching on when the next day you just need to do it all again? Because swords for hire can't purpose these days, as that's going to be my last name. Glory, death, and friends made over spilt blood. 83% chance say that it's harsh and fair. 16% chance they say it's common and base. Harsh but fair. Tiny bit of prestige gain. Stories and glories. Dinner at Cordata scores an ideal time to impress his courtiers in my dashing escapades. Even though I'm not even an adult yet, but the things that she's seen and done during her travels. The happier they are, the fatter my purse is likely to be. Of course, this calls for less subtle wit and more for stories of grand endeavors, played of heroism and villainy, accurately or otherwise. Hmm. Let's see, I think I know a few such tales. 71% chance that my deeds are charming, 29% chance that my words ring hollow. Well, unfortunately, they ring hollow here. Doubtful stories, so now I have a less chance of success. That something's just not quite right with the things they say. Uh-oh. Well, that means we have to pick up the advantage at 10 to make it much more successful, to make sure you don't screw that up again. Roaring campfire. My tent for the next one is going to have to be a barber's tent. Disease resistance. Casualties. Tiny bit of income. And whenever we get this upgraded, which is going to get you a lot, then I'd be willing to have proving grounds, since we're martial oriented. Well, you better hurry up, because you may never know he'll drop dead before we execute that scheme. I don't think it can wait for 10 more advantages. You just gotta do it now. Success or failure. Yeah, just do it. Courtiers practically swoon over my party and I these past months. Day after day, night after night, we've filled their heads with fantastical stories and our bellies with rich fare, leaving a good, yes, and more satisfied with our performance. Still, all good things must come to an end, and it's best for us to leave on a high note. A long path ahead of us. Go build that barber's tent. Go to the roll of patrons. Give me provisions. And then we'll be on our way to our next destination. Oh look, he still hasn't come back yet. Next stop, Vamna. With the help of bars, I finally concluded my studies in the art of warfare. I'm disappointed in my results, as I really think I could have done better. As I take my first steps to adulthood, I find myself reminiscing about some of the people who have made an impact on the woman I've become. friendship I shared with Vidaram meant a lot when we were both young, and to still have him by my side means a lot. Wonder if Sokai remembers the things I put him through when we were young. Captain Praniyata, you're a woman now. Okay, so, you're tough soldiers, so she's shown some prowess in martial matters, but still has a lot to learn. Well, she's a flexible leader, and in addition, military engineer. That's very good. I mean, it's still good, martial, but education could have been better. Only have one perk to unlock from wandering. Oh, plus one from learning. That essentially is martial oriented. So go for valor. Take command. Lead by example. Especially if it's martial scheme phases that's related to it. Siege phase time. More or less time. So camp scientists. They gotta have that off the start. And for wandering, I'm just looking. Whew. We'll go find your way. Designated terrain decision. Oh man. This is a permanent choice. It's one and done, but remember our traditions. We do have dryland dwellers, which it's less dangerous to travel in desert mountains, and drylands. So, which means you gotta pick another terrain to make it so. So I think lowlands will do because of plains, steppe, which we traveled through there. Sometimes there's farmlands and floodplains, especially floodplains for, you know, Mesopotamian intent. So I already have, you know, the benefits of this. So go for lowlands. So it makes travel less dangerous in plains, farmlands, steppe, and floodplains. There I have it. But at least now, you can seek higher education if you so wish. If you pursue an educational thing, but if you want to level 3, spend 100. So try to raise the level in education. But going to a university, well, you better start saving up more. As we're on our way to Khotan, Vamna. As we're about to set out, it starts pouring down. Rain, as far as the eye could see. I can't help but curse my poor luck, but I've seen dark clouds coming for a while. If we want to make our journey on time with the set out, it's a risky journey with the weather being what it is. An opportunity to rest, I'd say. It is night when the attackers fall on our pruner. A motley flash of glinting armor and flashing weapons lit only by a distant firelight. If they're wearing any colors, then they're not visible, but their intent is clear enough all the same. Move us from Rechangal, dead or alive. Camp is not without defenders, though with a cry of the outraged pair to push back this local scourge. Into the fray I go. 6% chance of successful rampage, 39% chance bloodied and broken. We're all bloodied and broken. And remember, we have no physician. Best one we've got. Well, it's gonna have to be you. Because you're the one that's not wounded. And you also be the head porter. Yeah, we all got hurt. 6% chance I die, 5% chance scarred, 88% chance wounded. All good. During my travels, I came to a rather friendly village here. Locals are respectful and kindly gave us supplies. The few members of my traveling caravan were suspicious, but nothing unusual happened. Such nice people out there. I come across a woman while passing through Compatibility. She's restless, runs in through the air as I approach. I'm tired of getting kicked around like a dog. No one respects me here. Everyone laughs as soon as Praniyata is uttered. Fools, fiends, witches! God, I get so mad. I must get out of here. The skills could serve you well. Could you ever discuss payment? What kind of... Hit the road, you useless fiend. I mean, you might be a good for a stooge, maybe. But anything else? I can't afford both food and money to get you in, so get out of here. Our little force attempts to put himself out. A few evenings, something we've gotten very, very good at is like first one and another, then another, with people and tools spreading down the lines and help their neighbors in the model of speed and efficiency. Even good at poking. Neither of whom historically seen eye to eye are helping one another, laughing like old friends as they go. Good to see these two getting along. Just remembered. Well, get over here. Ugh. You want to be a stooge? Get out. You still got a trowel here, son. Settle boundary disputes. And you can hunt if you so wish to. Hunt criminals. Ooh, excellent. Something for me to do, but let me do these two first. It's easy payment. And more importantly, earns more provisions. Barber's tent is finished. Lines on maps. Our arrival is met with little fanfare. Locals are in crisis over some ancient map board that's been unearthed or in complete rejoins the boundaries between two of the city's satellite settlements. Without a resolution soon, the best case scenario is uninterrupted attacks, whereas the worst might be a minor local war. Boycott is Pains to let us know that our coin depends on calming the situation quickly and quietly. Thanks to my high learning skill, I say, allow me to inspect this map of yours. The map seems genuine enough, if you're a fool. I, however, am a woman of great learning, and demonstrating its walled origin is as simple as a matter of pulling on a tunic. Oh, certainly, some argue at first, but the evidence continues to pile up. Eventually, a conspirator cracks under the pressure and points the finger at a local magnate as the culprit. A simple arrest later, and Lodamogil has something new to gossip about, while solid summons are forced to back down from one another's throats. With tensions of views and things well on the way back to normality, Polka gracefully hands over a coin. Another happy page. Here's another boundary dispute to take care of. To go to Lafac. Ah, yes. This is due to having a head porter, so I'll say, good point, this seems like your area. But there's a chance of failure here, but I prefer guaranteed success. We're a long way to make all this. There's hunt criminals over there. Be on the lookout for renegades and reprobates haunting the backroads. If your sword arm is strong and your eye true, Princess Druxubik promises generous rewards in exchange for the head of a particular thug. It's good payment and decent reward. This band of malcontents have been harassing my private estates. They burn, kill, and steal with near impunity. Slip away before my retainers can clap them in irons, so they so should deserve. Why not? The gang must be subject to warn such a paramount. Their one leader is Choke, the insubordinate. Bring me his head before he can slip away for good, and you'll have your payment. Small group travels faster. So that means we travel around to Konak, then to Paldum, and then Skadu, and then back home. Let's move out. We first meet Choki the Subordinate in the ragged hills of Kurnak. The camp of the Ravens of Father Greatness spread out towards and around his own little band of ne'er-do-wells. All of us tensed and ready for bloodshed. Come now, let us see. Ah, there she is, booms Choki, as he elbows his way to the front of the throne. The little lost lady who thinks she'll cut me down to size. Well, come down, Praniyata. Here I am. Choki's group is clearly outnumbered, but they seem resolute nonetheless. Willing to defend their leader, or to die in their attempt. He's fecund, he's club-footed, gallows maintains he's a marauder. That's what he does. Disloyal. He was a pilgrim and an eager reveler. He does have 2 unpressed claims and 1 pressed claim. I wonder, at some point, like, was he a lead? Was he a lord? No, he's never held land in his life. He was insubordinate. Participate in a life release ceremony like a Buddhist would. Have at they, Scullion, so I immediately engage in the duel to death, because I'm brave. For a few brief moments, Choki and I pace in lazy half circles, each watching for an opening. I couch my magnificent spear, ready to defend myself, while he clutches his spear firmly in hand. Only one of us is walking away earlier today, and I intend to be me. With a sudden twitch, our bout begins. Choki searches forwards, forcing me back with a thrusting jab before bringing a high kick out to my chest, almost topple. Damn! Attack first, attack hard. I'm God. Lightning assault. I'll try to overwhelm him at the start of the bout. Putting all my strength in my first strike, I leap straight for him, couching my spear high to a piercing thrust that sends him reeling. He retaliates a smooth flowing series of thrusting jabs and piercing thrusts, each strike forcing me back a little more. My form is good, with only small errors, and Choki's stance is formidable. My opponent's guard is fierce, and I feel far from victory. I'll show how I couch a spear, confident attack. With skill and poise, I'll make a series of well-placed strikes. My spear flows around him like water, each strike chain flowing into the next. And a series of perfectly timed strikes, spotting an opportunity. Choki lunges forwards and headbutts me hard in the face. I reel backwards, wrong-footed. Performance good with only small errors. His stance is passable. All the guard is fierce. Feel far from victory. Well, we handicapped each other, because we both hit each other in the head here. A blow from my spear and a kick to the gut. I'll do this then. Combine my heavy attack with an unexpected kick to his vitals. Determined to see my opponent toppled, I throw my entire weight to his piercing thrust that sends him reeling, following up a vicious kick. The dual strike shreds his guard, and I'm able to first disarm him with a thrusting jab, then transition swiftly into a lethal chest shot that gouges a bloody wedge straight to his heart. There are slower deaths to be had. Goodbye, Choki. So my armor took a bit of a beating here. I tossed the severed head to the Vespas's agent, who read probably landing wedly beside him. You killed him in single combat? My, how fierce, remarks the Vespas's servant, gingerly handing over our pay at the same time. The words are little of consequence, but the delicious weight of fat person and its cargo of silver will make our little hunt thoroughly worthwhile. Job well done. By the way, pass through your capital of Sumdo, just to get a bit of a monthly lifestyle experience here. As a pair of solid of the morning, I see VIET stand outside our camp all alone. As I walk over to talk to him, I notice a change in the wind. A refreshing autumn wind rubs through the camp, grabbing the leaves and dust from the ground. Summer is behind us, and it's time to prepare for the cold of autumn and winter. Get back on your horse, VIET. Nothing. But for the first time, Let's visit the castle holding of Vamna. No woman is an island. Let's visit the castle holding here and see what it has in store for us. First time. Few places are as majestic as a castle, and Vamna is no exception. Regular Vamna troops and banners are visible everywhere in the city. As I pass through the main gates, I spot a handful of guards peeking out from the embrasures above. My bodyguard, EPEC, looks around with a content face, seeming to enjoy the change of scenery. Should mingle with the locals. I'm invited to one of the tents. Surprising amount of people fit inside. Travelers and Vamna, all of them blending into one seamless buzz of human noise. Outside, a storyteller sits by the bonfire. Up front, a collection of loud tribesmen recollect their latest excursion. And in the corner of the encounter, a seductive stag sits, seemingly bored. If I looks around, jumbled individuals are intrigued in his eye. Wouldn't mind hearing a story or two. Have a seat by the fire. And yearning to be rid of the incessant hammering, Zeus's head was split in two, but forth sprung Athena, the wisest of the deities. But that story's for another time. Storyteller gives me a stare smile and leans back his fireplace seat and takes another sip of spiced wine. However, man, how do you tell stories so well? I'll pay him, and then I'll pick up this trait and gain a bit of wit. Just wanted to do that for once. The details of my violent stories digging in my head. I walk back inside the dwelling. Over by the countertop, a ravishing stag from earlier still poised, nursing his cup. On my right, APEC greens appreciatively as a peasant finishes a crude joke involving several bodily fluids. I shoot him a surprised look, as I wait what to do next. She was up for recruitment. Approaching a crew of unemployed Vamna, I raise my voice and address them directly. I'm looking for some skilled and reliable people to join my camp. Who among you are up for that task? Yes, the parties introduce themselves as Shestakaki, Oslim the Talkative, and Kutan the Placid. If I comes appears a prospect as I consider which candidate to recruit. Holy crap. High diplomacy. You might be useful someday. How much? Yeah! Oh, that's second thought, never mind. Making my way back on the recruits, I nearly stumbled over a duo of revelers. Currently busy teasing a third, more introverted man for his likeness to a dragon. Or by the countertop, a stunning stag from earlier still poised and nursing his cup. Further ahead, APEC falls to a small jig as a twirling troubadour wraps up a local folk song. I usually reserve to dance upon what's next on my agenda. Shut up! Sorry, it was the thing talking. Oh my, who is that? I'm intently observing the stag sitting himself down the nearby table. The dwelling owner called him Vada, didn't she? He looks puzzled as I approach him. Possibility, because of my internal turmoil is clear as day on my face. Why would this bother me? I am Captain Praniyata of the Ravens of the Father of Greatness, damn it! I keep reminding myself of the recent accomplishments in order to remain calm, mostly failing. You ain't that special. I'm not a seductress, but I'll say, do you fish? Because you have me hooked. Failed to entice him. When I leave his company, Vada resumes chatting to a couple of friendly tribespeople as I march back to the middle of the tent. At the corner of the dwelling, APEC observes a bunch of locals throwing sharp objects at a broken barrel of morbid fascination. I glance at their games and what to do next. Let's head back. On my way back to the Commons, I stopped to admire the work of local tapestry, creating a piece of art commissioned by Kagan Tuomo. I was thinking of something else. Moved away from the city entrance, I walk along the narrow paths, some dilapidated tents, into the adjoining open space. Ahead of me lies a path to the supply merchants and artifact peddlers. And over yonder, also to a spot what looks like a town crowded distance. Supplies are this way. Go to supply stalls. From turnips to fabrics, firewood to sewing thread, supply merchant Chica has it all. The stall is filled to the brim of whatever one might need for the night in the wilds. I'm a bit closer to draw his attention. He barely looks at me in my direction, he addresses me. What do you need? He cracks his knuckles, he looks at me. Discreetly nodding direction supplies. Care to make a distraction? Can't afford to buy more provisions, but... Whoop. Oh, clumsy me. APEC, go! His intrigue challenge against Chica. 71% chance of success, 29% chance he gets wounded. He got it! Back at this part of the commons, there are decidedly less people around. A handful of children are petting a donkey, peacefully grazing halfway to the elder posting. On my left, a handful of tribespeoples are restoring a damaged yurt, meticulously covering the new canvas and chalk. The elder might have something for us. Look for a contract. The town crowd perks up as I approach, essentially chattering about the nearby contracts posted by local nobles. She is accompanied by a friendly, shifting white-brownish great old cat who looks at me with the clearest blue eyes as I tably listen to neterated listings. Righteous harbingers needed to uphold order. Acknowledged stewards needed for organizational assignments. Well, this morning be right, righteous. Give me just the car contracts, if any. Sauntering back from the elder, I observed the sky a bit before finding myself back at the commons. A menacing slaver is performing a questionable trade further down in the commons, to the chagrin of the certain bystanders. Let's head back. I quickly navigate my way back to the other end of the commons, passing by a traveling salesman with tiny glass bottles containing different colored liquids. The noise and loud batteries in nearby stalls echo all the way through here, giving the commons a hectic feel. I'm done here. Back to Compatibility. Rescue a fair subject? Do a passage of arms. These are two schemes. Which reminds me. There's no one better. Couldn't find someone suitable. So let's rescue a fair subject. Knights of true virtue. One of Mrs. Seba's fairest courtiers has not returned from an incursion to the woods of some night. His court eagerly offers a reward. There's no money involved, but prestige, piety, and provisions, of course. Let's do so. A tired, says Baseba, approaches the camp with her men. The horses stop right there before my tent as I get up to greet them. That damn woman? Here, that's Mumba. I bid you good morning, Praniyata, says, wiping off sweat and forehead. It seems that the most beautiful woman's been lost in the woods, and my courtiers will not stop lamenting until I bring her back. Bring her back. A fair man to the rescue. Or no, I believe a balanced approach is best, because we do have some martial-oriented people with us. In fact, you'll be the thug. Catch him in the skull and get to the barrel ready. This will be definitely fast, but it doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes you just need more brawls than brains. So, long shanks. You're athletic, and you got high pros. You're gonna be the muscle here. A set of hands do the dirty work is no good without a pair of eyes to watch them. So try to do them. You'll do. He'll be another muscle, and that will be the foot pad. A purse, a throat, a groin, there's a lot of things. You could take a knife to the back out if you pick a moment right. Makes very little difference, but it'll do. One second. Though not every place walks as a camp such as ours. Seems that that certainly does, or at least the VAM has to make it look like it does. Organizing an impromptu fair to trade goods and drain my followers their coin. Cynical, perhaps? Perhaps hard to deny what a smile puts on the faces of most. And sometimes it's enough. We'll get our provisions through the contracts. They call him the Insane. People tread on eggshells around him. Perhaps justly, perhaps not. Why risk offending the madman? He doesn't have the lunatic tree, but he's got very high stewardship, so he might be good for something. So you'll like a job. If your stewardship is so damn high, perhaps you can be the new head porter. Or a stooge, or something! My head moans as he rides alongside me. I raise an eyebrow and Cycler demands exclamations. He responds. Garpunk simply slumps down across the horse, hovering and clutching his temples. Clearly someone had a good night after last night. Kick his horse into gear. Oh crap. Lost Vidaram Longshanks. Died from his wounds. Son will do just fine. And he was my second. The Insane one is going to be my second now. That means our chance is not as great now. You're in. It's going to be a bit difficult to find newer people these days. They say children react more than anyone else to the places they find themselves. So it's fortunate that my adopted son, well, I shouldn't, he finds himself in the company of the most hardy bargain to the vicious cell sorts, dogged soldiers have been able to gather. Fine environment for a young boy to grow up in, where he seems determined to take many lessons to heart. You're bad at stewardship. You're better off with Marshall, to be honest. Perhaps she'll consider another path. Instill him a little wisdom. Don't want to hit it now. Just wait until we get more advantages. Because I am not confident we can get this too. Last night he appeared in my dream. We laughed and danced and talked about nothing in particular. My heart was beating so fast for I was so nervous yet excited. Even when I woke up I could still feel it. It's been so long since many years we last met, yet even now I still think about him. My first love. We were so young and innocent. Remember childhood. We were so young, so innocent. Even now, so many years later, the memories of the laughter and the joy we shared haunts me. Our son is at an age where a child absorbs everything and anything around him like a sponge soaking up water. Though present circumstances prevent me from giving him the finest of educations, the young lad seems no less eager to learn from it. Instead of the tutors and books that someone of more fixed wealth might feel entitled to, he roams the camp, shadowing my officers, eagerly insisting them in their duties. A little nudge towards someone's civic would likely do wonders, focusing his efforts. You got low stewardship, so my head porter. Help him out with that. I could seek higher education. Yeah, go ahead. I'm trying to hit the classics. Because I want this education trade approved before I go to any university. Those I've chosen involves low contract. The man is probably not the absolute most skilled. Still, she's clearly applying herself, determined not to let my efforts go to waste. In improving her skill no matter the pros. Bettering yourself is costly, but it helps all in the end. The plan goes well. More days progress mean more towards get the advantages. No, wish we could have done better, but we lost a good man. My mother often spends hours pointing out the little details I miss in my camp. Two servants used to fight, now gossip, guards seem more quiet as usual. Now, reserves have been moved to the other side of the tent. Lady Santa, who's still very much alive. Never inherited her beauty trait, though. Better to know than to not regret not knowing. So, parent aids me in intrigue efforts. My mother expects to have a say in my decisions. Is that so? The historian just seeks my pages to write a chronicle of Kagan Kubasar's life and rule. Padra fears that it must be begun now, while there remains true witnesses to his greatness. Very well, please stay with us while you write your piece. And while you're here, are you good at anything? It's good with learning. Perhaps, but... Because, you know, Vamna was the former capital, so that's why he just came to me, just because he's in the nearby vicinity. We have no choice but to execute this. 70% chance of success. This could go wrong. Back! A high-pitched scream makes its way through the thicket of trees, and I fall. Standing in the middle of the clearing is one of the most beautiful women I've laid my eyes on. She wields a stick like a spear. She tries to keep her distance from a ferocious spear. With a quick slash of my blade, I cleave it to the beast. The animal lets out a spurt of blood, staining the grass as well. My lady, the woman cries, falling to her knees. No wonder why I say beautiful, because she is pretty in my eyes. So yes, the scheme is successful, but it says we do not have to part ways, because, you know, we're a bit short-handed of the crew here, the followers. So, 92% chance that she'll join, 7% chance she feels insulted. She feels honored, so she'll join. She might be good for something. So, alright, let's do one more contract before we'll end this episode. If you be stalwart, take heed. The bridge of Laudamoga remains unprotected. Show force is necessary to keep bandits away. Boycott shall reward whoever dissuades. Let's move out. You want to be my bodyguard? You got plenty of intrigue, which again may or may not be useful. So, I'll pay you in food. I don't have much money. We got plenty of provisions these days. Smallest cruiser makes way to get. Wonderful morning we have here. Perfect chance to show these ruffians the valley we're true back to. See, there's a bridge that goes right into Laudamoga. All the manners of miscreants, fools, and idiots hang about there. Someone should take care of them. To the bridge. They pack, you're the man. The insane one. You have at it. Khotan, the one who just came here, you be the footpad. Thanks to your high intrigue. Vajra, you're the muscle. And you're the lookout. That's very good. This game will be a lot easier now. Obvious is obvious. We've been traveling much today, weary and tired. That would be a good place to probably rest for several hours. Was it supposed to be a well-traveled route? Yet lo and behold, we saw a small stream of water. And what more, there were worn-out bronze cups hung by the chains nearby water. It seems that the locals, or whoever's in charge of the region, generously provided these cups to travelers to more easily collect water. Thank you. Yeah, it won't take long, that many days to get things done. Just gained a modifier. All the buzz. Like bees around a flower, or flies around a corpse for the disinterested. War is only one thing that the whole court is discussing right now. 5 days faster. The time has come to know if my quest for higher education is successful or not, depending on my choices over the last few months as well as traits and luck. Final chances given. Will I bask in my own success? Let's evaluate my knowledge. Recall that your base chance of success starts at 20% chance. Besides your decisions regarding recent opportunities and experience. Traits shrewd, diligent, ambitious give you small bonus. Conversely, traits of dull, content, and lazy give you small penalty. Good luck with your roll. 26% chance you lose it, 74% chance that you will fail. Fail to improve my education. Each night, one fire becomes the hub of the camp's social activity. People coalescing around my inner circle to wag tongues and trade friendly barbs. Tonight is no exception. Look, all I say, Charles hissed to the giggling of several other followers, is that poor Mehmet knows to keep her ambitions nice and small, matching her tongues. The course of Ibria Gulfalls breaks out from easily pleased onlookers, though it all seems to be wearing on her. Join in a ribbing of this old lady. But life at a party, so she gets it. She's in on a joke. One more bandage and then we'll start. And then return to Valmna to end the episode. Panting, I tap my horse on the back. Easy now, it's over. Guard of this bridge has become my only task for the past fortnight. Armor shining under the moon. The sea of broken lances has been pushed to one side as a testament to my performance. Praniyata, Buckhot the Great, sending summons and focus force. What a sight. A long path ahead of us. You want to be a stooge? Depends on your skills. Perhaps in the realm of intrigue, possibly. So you'll be a stooge, Canuck. Okay, last one to an episode. And it just won't toss me, Corey's mess on OSGen, failing to keep the coil in his voice. I glanced down at the small pony he sits on, the easiest and most placid lunar mount I could find in the entire camp. Was I this scared when my mother taught me to ride? Oh, okay. There's kicking a trot there and, master the horse or it'll toss you. 74% chance success, 20% chance failure. I'm doing it, Mom, I'm doing it. You gain some confidence. It's amazing how the world opens up when you can ride. So, alright, that'll be the end of this episode. It's still early in her life, for the young Praniyata. But there are many more places to travel in this part of the world as I journey west and then eventually down towards India, as there's a few contracts awaits there. And more. So my intent is I would like to become a Knight-Errant, which you completed 4 out of 10 martial prowess contracts of no criminal nature. But you're quite a long way to become exalted among men. And then you gain this trait. So that's my intent for this one. As well as the different travels. Although I have more places to travel throughout Transoxiana. Bactra, India, so forth. Although I would be a long way away to try to, you know, have 8 of these, if all that must be true and all that. That's quite a long way away to even think of something like that. But don't forget, every once in a while, commission a Manichean manuscript in case you might need it for something. All that and more. So we'll see you in the next one, but until then, so long for now.